Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 6 of the DRS show. Joining me today will be Dhanush Nadil and Rahul Arote. So, guys, the World Cup has been going on right now. So, how have you found it so far?
It had a cold opening, but now I think it is picking up. Like considering today's game, like since we are recording South Africa and Pakistan, it was an interesting game. So I think like it is picking up. The players know like how to play longer format. Initially, it was all one-sided affairs. Like whichever game you pick, it's all about like the team which was trying to thrive, trying to get all the basics right. They were coming on top. So I would say like yeah, I'm enjoying my time watching the games.
Yeah, the World Cup has been great. There's been some, really good performances. But one thing I'm really glad is that it hasn't been a tournament where we are looking at 350, 400 runs every match. I was actually worried about it because I think when I was looking at the bilateral numbers in India, I think we were only looking at, big, high-scoring matches. So I'm really, really glad that there were some matches where the scores were around 250, 270, and that made for some amazing context. Also, I think some of the let's say I think minnows is not the right word to use anymore, but some of the associate nations have had some victories as well, which was good to see. uh, as well as we have seen a couple of really big teams not doing really well as well. But the funny thing is, everybody still has chance, at least a mathematical chance of making it to the top four. So yeah, I think yeah, it's been a very enjoyable World Cup so far. Some really good cricket, and yeah, really glad that it hasn't been one of those high run
One-sided,
scoring
yeah.
affairs.
Yeah, it's been so far. It seems mathematically that Netherlands has a 2% chance of qualifying. So technically, nobody's out. Pakistan has about a 22% chance. So if obviously all the stars align, there's a chance Pakistan could still qualify. They haven't have been having the best of the World Cups. But yeah, I agree with Rahul that the starting of the World Cup was really bad. Like it was just a mess. And what it did was just allowed the world to just laugh at, give them a laughing chance at India. And honestly, that's all on BCCI. I don't know why they decided to start the tournament without an India game and without doing it on the weekend. So a weekday at 130,000 capacity for the most of the day it was like maybe a couple of thousand. But then obviously once the working hours were over, the numbers at least pushed up to 40, 50,000, which on some other stadiums obviously that is a huge numbers for a North India game. But then compared to how big Motera Stadium is, that just seemed really small. So it just seemed lackluster, really. But yeah, I'm glad that this World Cup has picked up a lot more. Now you're looking at an average attendance of maybe 20, 25,000 a game for even non-India games. So it's gotten much better.
Yeah, it's just the obsession with the Motera, like Narendra Modi Stadium that we have. Like first game has to play their big games. We are playing in Narendra Modi Stadium. The final is in Narendra Modi Stadium. I don't mind playing final over there because it needs people. Like Rahul said, it's on weekend. But if you're starting at Narendra Modi Stadium, make sure like India is playing if you want to gather crowds. But yeah, PCCI like, clearly failed there. But like I'm glad people are showing more interest. And also, like in this World Cup, the interesting fact is every team has won at least a single game. Like so, there hasn't been any team like like we are running over them like 5 out of 5 laws or something. So that's good to see.
Yeah,
Associates are coming up the rank.
yeah, and I think just to kind of back that, I love the round robin system where everybody's getting a chance to play everyone. I think it's a very interesting a system because even Netherlands gets a chance to play all the top teams, right? Which may not happen in the previous formats where you don't play well in a couple of matches and you're basically out of the tournament. So it's glad that everybody's getting games against some top quality sides, and next year they're going to be much more stronger based on that experience. So I kind of love the formatting of the tournament so far.
Yeah, I mean, Netherlands has been one of the most surprising ones for me. So far in the World Cup, I think I would definitely put Netherlands fielding as one of the best out of all, just the effort they put in. They are just constantly jumping on the ball, making sure that the ball doesn't get past them no matter how far they are. Like they have just been top tier. Like fielding alone, they they can win games. There was a game recently, I believe it was I can't quite recall which game it was, and they were doing pretty well. They were restricting runs because of the fielding, and there was one oh it was against Australia, and this was where David Warner and Steve Smith were batting really well together. So they get a chance where David Warner runs all the way to the other side, and Steve Smith decides that there's no run, so he runs back instead. And David Warner is inside Steve Smith's crease. There was an obvious clear run out, but the
Mhm.
fielder decided to start strolling because he didn't realize where David Warner was, and after that, David Warner just it was just a lucky chance, and they missed that one chance, and then they put up a grand total of 399 runs, which was obviously thanks to Maxwell's. Just what can we say about that innings?
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about that one.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm surprised by Vander Mervis fieldings. Like that guy. I don't know how old is he. I
he is
think I assume he's in
38.
mid 30s. Yeah, but
Yeah,
his fielding is top tier. Like the his diving around, his catching techniques, positions. Even that day against Australia, he took a blinder. I don't know like of whom, but I saw the highlights. But he seems to be a very brilliant fielder. अगर वो मतलब वो इंडियन टीम में होता तो वो मेडल सेरेमनी में सारे तो इसे ही मिल जाते. माइकल फेल्प्स
yeah,
बन जाता है तो मेडल्स.
Ah, but he's the same guy who used to play for South Africa.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
He's very underrated. I see. Like वो आरसीबी में I remember वो आरसीबी में खेलता था.
Mm.
And then he used to play for South Africa. He played couple of big games here and there, but उसको कभी like he didn't got the recognition. And now like उसका experience है, so they are all they are doing well. Netherlands.
Yeah.
Even that guy. I don't know if you guys remember Ryan Ten. Who's that guy? Ryan Ten Deutsch something like that. वो भी काफी legend था Netherlands का. He used to do
हाँ.
it well.
Yeah,
He
मतलब
played for KKR also. I think I remember.
Mhm. बस यार नाम मुश्किल है
Uh,
प्रोनाउंस करना
Ryan Ten
प्लेयर का.
Deutsch Chat. I don't know.
Yeah, what I found what I will say is Scott Edwards' captaincy is actually doing really well for Netherlands. Like he is really smart with his bowlers. उसको वो he is like careful कि कब बहुत spinners लाने हैं, कब fast
Mhm.
bowlers रखने हैं, and then he held back his bowlers, which against Australia, which even the commentators were a bit baffled. They were wondering why his best bowlers hadn't bowled much overs, but once Labuschagne got out, that's when he brought out his best bowlers because I think he was trying to counter the power hitting that was going to be Maxwell. So उसका idea अच्छा था. It's just Maxwell is just a class apart. So
Also, it was poor bowling. वो Bas the lead, like he has been their top bowler of Netherlands, but if you see his last 4 overs, उसने सारे full toss ही दिए leg side पे and off sides पे. Like Maxwell could easily switch him around and hit it over fine leg, and then यहाँ पे उसने 2-3 full tosses भी उसने flicks की ऊपर. I think he went for 115 runs. Like he broke Zampa's record more than Maxwell. Zampa was happy. I can see him in the dugout कि उसका record टूट गया.
Mhm. No, that's actually one
Unwanted
of the
record.
records. Yeah, it's one of those unwanted records. Yeah, he was actually celebrating in the back as well, and it was definitely not about Maxwell's
Yeah.
100.
but yeah, data forget for them. So so far in the rankings wise, today South Africa comes first because of their win over Pakistan, which was
Mhm.
a nail biting game. The
Mhm.
last 20 runs were just like a war zone. Every single run they had to fight for it. And I will say it probably wouldn't have been this difficult if Makram decided not to throw his wicket. पता नहीं क्यों वो slogging करने शुरू हो गया. Like when you're 7 down, और the idea should be कि तुम अपना विकेट संभालो. बट माकरम ने 2 बार ट्राई कर चुका था. उसके कैचेस सेफली लैंड हुए थे. But he decided to go for a third time. But this time he got caught, and after that they suffered really bad. But obviously
Yeah,
Keshav Maharaj masterclass last ball 4. But yeah, what did you guys think about today's game?
especially when he was that close to 100, that was an unusual
91, no? He scored.
approach. Yes,
Hmm.
just 9 runs away. You have enough balls and runs to score. Yeah, missed opportunity.
Maybe
We
he
learn a
came
few
under
things from
pressure.
India.
But with Pakistan and South Africa, you think like these are the most unpredictable teams. तो
Mhm.
I think दोनों को था कि भाई तुम जीतो. No one wanted to win. बस एंड में महाराज ने जिता दिया.
Yeah, and I think Maharaj again over the years has been such a great campaigner for South Africa. Like in Test matches, he bowls really well. He does the job for them.
Yeah,
He can bat as well. So I think he's a cricketer that a lot of people don't talk a lot about, but I think he's been quite important player for South Africa over
he
the
is. He
years.
is along with Tabrez Shamsi. He took 4 for today.
Yeah.
All crucial wickets. So, like South Africa, the thing with South Africa is, like South Africa was the only team coming into the World Cup. I think since past 1 year, they had their 11, all 11 or say 15 players. They knew their set of 15 players whom they wanna play where. तो आप अगर आप देखोगे ना साउथ अफ्रीका के नंबर 1 to 7 दे हैव सिमिलर प्लेयर्स. देख अब उस दिन बाबूमा इंजर्ड था. देन रीजा हेंड्रिक्स केम इनटू द प्ले. उनकी बॉलिंग भी काफ़ी सॉर्टेड है. आज रबाडा नहीं खेला बिकॉज ही वॉज इंजर्ड. इफ रबाडा अगर खेलता तो एनगीडी या कॉजी तो उनमें से कोई एक ड्रॉप होता. आई थिंक एनगीडी होता क्योंकि कॉजी इज अ बैटर एज वेल. सो आई मीन इट्स ऑल क्रेडिट. लाइक वी नीड टू गिव क्रेडिट टू बाबूमा हेयर क्योंकि उनका लाइक साउथ अफ्रीका क्रिकेट वॉज मेस इफ यू सी 2 years बैक और इवन अ ईयर बैक. तो वो अभी भले वो कैसे भी परफॉर्म कर रहा है बट ही इज़ अ गुड लीडर. उसने अच्छी टीम बना के दी है उनको.
Mhm.
हेनरिक क्लासन 1 साल पहले कोई भी नहीं जानता था कि भाई ये क्या कर रहा है. हेनरिक क्लासन जब व्हेन ही केम इनटू द साइड मुझे लगता था कि तो फ्री विकेट है. आएगा ये बस किसी को कोई इंजर्ड है उसको बस कवर देने आया है. बट नाउ लाइक इफ यू सी हेनरिक क्लासन ही इज आई थिंक ही इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट नंबर 5s इन द वर्ल्ड along with KL Rahul obviously.
Yes, I think if you remember a few years ago when Chahal and Kuldeep
Oh yeah, I
were
remember.
bowling really well, I think the only batsman who actually took them for runs was actually Henrik Klassen. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
even now,
Brilliant player against spin. Yeah.
yeah. So let's say come a semi-final or a final, and let's say, looking at the numbers, it looks like, India and South Africa, if they do well, might meet again. I think he would be the game changer. I think he has the ability to dismantle Kuldeep, and if you dismantle Kuldeep, India will be under pressure, right? So I think he's a very very important player if South Africa has to get through India's spin attack.
And considering we are playing South Africa at Eden Garden, I think it's not a short boundary, but it's like 70 yards, but it is still considered as short, and the outfield is fast. And considering we would be playing our semi-final in Wankhede, I don't want to face South Africa there. That's the only team I wouldn't want to face because वो इंडिया से ज़्यादा साउथ अफ्रीका का होम ग्राउंड है. मैंने एक स्टैट देखा. साउथ अफ्रीका's last 3 games at Wankhede they have scored 1,239 runs
Wow.
Wow.
at Wankhede. Against India, if you remember 2015 or 2016 they scored 428. जो ऐसा लग रहा था कब से बैटिंग कर रहे हैं. So डी विलियर्स स्कोर 100, डुप्लेसिस स्कोर 100 and I think even डीकॉक स्कोर 100. Then against England they scored 399. Then against even last game when they played, so they have scored like 1,239 runs at a single venue in say 150 overs. That's crazy.
And वो ससुराल है ना डीकॉक का, so he knows the ground really well as well. Wankhede.
हाँ लाइक वानखेड़े में तो नहीं खेलना है इनके साथ. पागल हो जाते हैं ये. छोटा ग्राउंड है और उनके सारे प्लेयर हिटर हैं. और एंड दे आर नॉट ओनली लाइक स्लॉगर्स, दे आर लाइक स्वीट टाइमर्स ऑफ द बॉल.
Mhm.
स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम डीकॉक जो पहली बॉल से खेलना शुरू करता है. बबूमा को आउट मत करो, मेरे को तो लगता है उसको खिलाओ बिकॉज वो ही तुम्हें थोड़ा स्कोर स्लो करके देता है रन रेट. फिर आफ्टर दैट यू हैव लाइक वैंडर डिसन. इवन ही इज अ गुड लाइक ही इज काइंड ऑफ व्हाट लाइक बाबर आजम काइंड ऑफ अ प्लेयर. रोटेशन पे रखता है वो. लाइक ही वोंट गिव यू 60 ball 100 but he can give you 90 ball 100, 80 ball 100.
Mhm.
And then after that फिर मार्करम, मिलर, हेनरिक क्लासन, मार्को एंसन सब मारने वाले.
Mhm.
So they have a good template. I like their team.
Yeah, so I think Shoaib Malik was saying that साउथ अफ्रीका पहली 20 ओवर में 50 ओवर क्रिकेट खेलते हैं, फिर 20 ओवर के बाद T20 खेलना चालू करते हैं until 20 to 40th over, and for the last 10 overs they play T10, right?
They
I
have
think.
scored 140, 130 runs in their last 10 overs for the last 4 games, whatever. Like prior to today's game.
Mhm. So is there a team, let's say if India comes across them at some stage, do you think India has the attack to slow them down? I know some of those runs came against some of the smaller teams as well, for South Africa. But do you think if somehow they're able to kind of play Kuldeep really well. Do you think with Shami and Siraj and Bumrah that we can actually, do a comeback if they have a really good middle overs? Do we have that attack?
I don't think they're good chasers, like to be honest. I mean, they bat first really well because of the fearless approach, but whenever they chase, they struggle. Like up Netherlands के सामने वो हार गए थे, they couldn't chase 200 odd runs. Even today they struggled a lot. Like it was Pakistan who threw the game away. It was Pakistan's game to lose. So I still think like if we can stop them from batting first, I think India can easily surpass South Africa. Even if they bat first against India, I don't think they will give you like 350, 360 runs. India can still curtail them within 300, and India can chase them down because उनके bowling इतनी strong नहीं है like जितना मैंने देखा है South Africa का तो yeah. What do you guys think?
I think
Rahul?
while chasing, I have noticed a small pattern. I don't know how long has it been repeating, but South Africa while chasing usually plays as a T20 for the first 20 game overs. तो उससे क्या होता है कि उनका well obviously not like proper T20 तो you'd have maybe 10 overs में 60 runs, 15 overs में 100 runs, something like that. So they have a good start. बट देन एक बार वो विकेट चली जाती है देन दे सडनली मे बी उनका प्रेशर आ जाता है कि चलो विकेट जा रही तो थोड़ा चेंज कर लेते हैं प्ले स्टाइल एंड उस चक्कर में फिर दे डोंट नो व्हाट टू डू तो हाफ एज शॉट्स खेलना शुरू कर लेते हैं फालतू के शॉट्स खेलना शुरू कर देते हैं so maybe it's a pressure that gets to them but that's why I think obviously as Arote said if we can but then again India setting a target I'm not quite sure how well that will set now we have a better track record than South Africa chasing but it's just a worry of our track record of setting a target is not that good as you chasing something about just chasing that Rohit Sharma just becomes completely fearless while chasing so obviously, maybe I don't think the toss would matter as much for us. So I think it would just be entirely on the bowling if
Mhm.
they bat first.
Just try to look at all the games if you want to kind of quickly go through it. So their first game was versus.
England, New Zealand.
No, I mean, look at all the South Africa games
Oh
in
yeah,
the World Cup.
First was Sri Lanka, where they absolutely
murdered.
destroyed, like कीमा बना दिया श्रीलंका bowling का तीन
वो भी
centuries.
दिल्ली की पिच में.
हाँ क्विंटन द कॉक रासी वेंडरसन एडन मार्करम तीनों के तीनों ने सेंचुरीज मारी एंड बीच में तुम्हारा हुज द कैप्टन बाबूमा ही 8 runs बट चलो क्या बोल सकते हैं रेस्ट ऑफ द टीम डिड
उसका
परफॉर्म
काम ही वही है, बस वो आके जल्दी आउट हो जाए ताकि बाकी लोग को बॉल्स मिले मारने के लिए.
he did his role perfectly so it seems everyone did that role
Mhm.
because my god what a score fantastic um yeah and then their game against Netherlands, like you
Yeah.
mentioned, they sort of. Uh, I think maybe they underestimated Netherlands. Maybe they didn't realize how well Netherlands is a much better team than you would give them credit
Mhm.
for. So
Mhm.
maybe that's what happened. But then there was that game against Australia, which they
Mhm.
also obliterated, 134 runs win. So they're doing really well.
Yeah, the only team like that disappointed me in this World Cup is Bangladesh. Like मुझे लगा था they will do better than what they are doing. I think like अगर ऐसे ही खेलना था तो यार आयरलैंड बेटर खेलती. Like आयरलैंड ने एटलीस्ट 2-3 अपसेट तो कर दिए होते अभी तक.
Mhm.
Considering if you look at some of the teams like Pakistan और South Africa, आयरलैंड अपने दिन पे खेल लेती है.
Mhm. Yeah.
So like Bangladesh has been disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, there goes my pre-tournament prediction. Both the teams that I said.
Now only Angelo Matthews can save your prediction if he
He's doing
goes
well
well.
to be fair. So Sri Lanka may have
Yeah,
a chance with Angela Matthews back. You never know.
Angelo Matthews, yeah, and Lahiru Kumara, he's back. He's a good bowler.
So yeah, I never said that. I wish I could delete it, but it's on YouTube, so I can't take it back. So going back, should we discuss India?
Yeah,
So
the
what are
team
we?
of the tournament
Yeah,
for me.
unbeaten so far. Hopefully that continues. When that Australia scare happened, the 5 for 3
Mm,
was it? 5 for 3, I
Yeah.
believe.
2 for 3.
2 for 3, even better. I'm still remembering 2019 World Cup.
Mhm.
Um, that 2 for 3 happened, it just gave me flashbacks of 2019, and I just thought, this is over. There's no chance of winning here. But then,
Hmm.
you know what? As much as I was, obviously, I have been critical of KL Rahul for a couple of years, but KL Rahul absolutely held that wicket to the death. And KL and Kohli masterclass. Oh, what are the next? Oh, that was.
Yeah, and that was a weirdly enough. I don't know if you guys felt the same. Even when we lost those 3 wickets, there was still a very strong. I still thought India was favorites with the kind of batting that we have. I think credit goes to Rohit Sharma and the selectors to pick 5 proper batters, right? Batters who can actually play at any number, and knowing that there is a Shreyas Iyer who was actually unfortunately got out that day, and KL Rahul coming in, and you knew that there was Hardik Pandya, there was
Jadeja.
let's say Jadeja, and was Ashwin playing that game if I remember
Ashwin
correctly?
was playing.
Ashwin. So there was a comfort in me at least that it's until if this guy's actually even score of 50, I think India's got a pretty strong chance. Did you guys feel that, or did you
I mean,
actually
like, I
fall
didn't
into that
feel the
bait?
heat, but because we were chasing 200, but if it was 250, then हालत खराब हो जाता वो देख के कि you need 230 odd runs और आपके top three चले गए हैं.
Mhm.
So I mean, like India, to be fair, if you're playing against India in India, it's if a team beats India, I think they deserve to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
They are just too good at the moment. The bowling, batting, fielding, spin department, fast bowling department, you name it. Also, the team environment, dressing room environment, it feels like good. Like they are there to win. They're playing as one. So yeah,
Rohit Sharma's captaincy, top notch.
brilliant, top notch. Like now you know why he has won 5 IPLs. Like you can literally tell it. Uska skills, uska strategy designing. He's more of a tactical captain. Like with Dhoni, you see a mixture of tactical and boldness. With Kohli, it was all boldness, and with Rohit, you have like all tactical mindset. Like he knows whom to get on at what time. कौन सा बॉलर कौन सा चाहिए बैट्समैन के. अगर लेफ्टी खेल रहा है ऑफ स्पिन लगा दो. पिच में थोड़ा सा लाइक बाउंड्री छोटी है तो शार्दुल आ जाएगा. आई मीन ही इज जस्ट टू गुड विद all those tactical decisions.
And I think it was so easy for him to let Shreyas out of the team in the beginning of the
Mm,
season. He did not do that as well. The fact that he can still get Ishan in to keep
yeah,
to kind of not put a lot of pressure on KL Rahul, he did not do that. So I think some of the calls have has been brilliant. And I think I was wrong. I was a bit disappointed, I guess, because I'm a big Virat Kohli fan. When some of the whole captaincy controversy was actually happening, but I'm so glad. Also, he's playing a very different type of Rohit Sharma innings. I think he is actually attacking a lot more. Uh, I think typically after he gets a good start, he actually settles in. But knowing that he has, Shreyas and KL at 4 and 5, he is continuing that attack.
yeah,
So he's kind of making sure the run rate is high up front, so that the guys can comfortably build the innings in the middle. So I think there's a little bit of selflessness as well
yeah.
in the way he's batting.
Just adding to that point, like Rohit Sharma has been trying to play like this since past 2 years. If you see his IPL, like बहुत लोगों ने उसको गाली दी थी कि भाई पहले ओवर में फ्रंट फुट पे कौन आता है, पहले ओवर में लैप कौन मारने जाता है. इवन लाइक जो हम लोग सीरीज वेस्ट इंडीज का था उससे पहले जो भी सीरीज था हम लोग देख रहे थे, इवन इन टेस्ट लाइक ही वॉज ट्राइंग टू go after like ball one or like to create a tempo, so to put a pressure on the bowler. लेकिन वो he wasn't able to succeed at that time क्योंकि वो out हो जाता था या catch जा रहा था. But good for him, like good for us कि this time whatever he was trying to do since past 2 years, it has been clicking well now. And now we are appreciating like like what selfless Rohit Sharma is, like that his inning जो पूरा pressure ही निकाल देता है विराट कोहली पे. मैं किसी का tweet देख रहा था कि someone was calling Rohit Sharma the destroyer क्योंकि वो आता है और सामने वाले बॉलर को खत्म कर देता है. रन रेट व्हाटएवर ही डिस्ट्रॉयज, एंड वंस ही गेट्स आउट देयर कम्स द क्रिएटर विराट कोहली,
Yeah.
हु क्रिएट्स द इनिंग टिल द लास्ट बॉल. लाइक वो सेट करेगा कितना रन रेट चाहिए अपने हिसाब से पेस पे, एंड ही विल
Mhm.
cruise us towards the win. So I mean it's such a beautiful narrative, the destroyer and then the creator.
And
But
who's the
we
finisher?
are we are lucky that they are both playing for our team.
Yeah. What do you think of Jaddu's 70 the other day? Was it 70 or
It was
55, I think
55?
40.
49. 49, I
49.
think. Yeah.
Yeah. He
That,
scored
that, that,
70 in 2019. I think you remember that against New Zealand.
okay, I think I got the numbers wrong there, but I think that was a very important innings, knowing that at number 7 you have probably a very good let's say left-handed batsman coming in.
Yeah,
That
and
kind of should
he
give us a
and he
lot of
also
comfort.
didn't bat so far in the tournament, so I was a
Yeah.
bit skeptical kuch kar payega, but fair enough, he did really well. 49 is that is also why we won that game. So every single player, even if they haven't got a chance to bat yet, at least there is that comfort that they can actually hold the wicket. So it's looking good for us. Now let's hope that thoda choke now.
hmm So India Bangladesh, very easy win. Sorry, no, that was actually wrong. My apologies. So which was our first match actually? Australia, uh, really good match. We played Afghanistan after that.
Rohit
I
Sharma,
think
130
Afghanistan
runs.
was the only team जिसने 270 or 280 odd score, जिसने हमारे सामने किया.
Yes.
Like,
So I mean, like the batting has come really well. We'll talk about it when we get to them. But I think the batting has actually improved a lot, right? Then the big game, India Pakistan.
India Pakistan, the
That was a
most
wonderful game.
one-sided affair in the history of cricket World Cup.
Yes, it's a bit disappointing because you expect more from the Pakistan side.
Yeah.
Now, again, I was a bit skeptical about their selection. I think there are some really deep-rooted issues in that particular squad, and I think no amount of leadership can help them. I can't actually believe that in a country which is known for some of the great off spinners and the leg spinners, the creators of Dusra, that you don't have a full time attacking off spin option, which everybody knows is very critical in India. If you don't have a good finger spinner who's taking wickets, it's very difficult to win cricket matches in India. And I'm a bit disappointed they don't have one of those options. I think Nawaz at best is a part-time bowler. Uh, they don't seem to have an attacking opening batting for a country which is known for some of the fastest hundreds ever. That's another disappointing thing. Abdullah Shafiq is amazing. He's a great player, but I think he needs somebody who can kind of give him the equally attacking, if not more attacking start there. I know your man is injured, is he? The other opener that they have in the side.
Fakar Zaman, Imamul Haq.
Yeah, Fakar Zaman. Is he injured? Is he? Why is he not playing?
So they are telling it like he has knee injury, but I'm not too sure. Like because Imam Ulak has some good political connection. I think his niece, I think who his uncle is. I think in Imam Ulak. Is it? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think he's related to both Misbah and Inzima.
Yeah, so that's why they don't want to drop him. Like भाई उसने इतने सारे मैचेस में he hasn't scored more than 15-20 runs, but he's still there in at his spot,
बट
that is opening.
2012 में तो 100 बनाया था ना उसने इंडिया के खिलाफ.
वो बस फ्लैट ट्रैक पे खेल खेल के 100 मार मार के ऊपर आया रैंकिंग में, सेकंड बना था, अभी वो भी जा रही है नीचे.
But isn't that so disappointing for a country with that great cricketing tradition that you have a team that on paper looks so lackluster. There is no inspiration. Again, I know they have Babar Azam, right? But I think he himself is struggling. I know he's scoring some 50s, but it's at a strike rate which is actually contributing
It's good for the
to
rankings, but
yeah
not for the purpose
for
for why they are there.
winning the World Cup. हाँ, लेकिन वापस तो जाना पड़ेगा ना उनको. ऐसे खेलेंगे तो they have to be kept accountable.
मुझे नहीं लगता पाकिस्तान को उम्मीद भी है इनसे कोई.
Mhm. That's a bit disappointing. Saud Shakil is again an amazing talent.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, Abdullah Shafiq and
You should see his test records, stats. Saud Shakil.
yeah, let's actually open it up. Yeah, it'll be
He had played 13 innings, I think 5 centuries, 750s, two double hundreds in
wow,
just 13 innings.
wow. Yeah,
85 or 86 average.
yeah.
And he
That's
scored his 100 against Sri Lanka at Sri Lanka, which is like a difficult place to score a double ton there.
like one of the things that I was actually hearing in some channels is that even kind of going to Sri Lanka just before big World Cup is it wasn't a great choice because Sri Lanka is a really tough place to play cricket, and you're just going there just before the World Cup, and then you play another, Asia Cup, which
Yeah.
for whatever reason was in Sri Lanka. After that, the whole team looks so tired and lackluster, which is, I think, a fair comment because the fielding is one of the is actually worse than some of the newer sides as well. Like Afghanistan fielding versus Pakistan fielding. I think like Afghanistan looks like the better fielding side and the more senior side at this point of time.
They look fit as well, no? Because I think fitness is the key. Like, but apart from Shadab Khan, I don't think that they have any fit player or any good fielder in their side. So
Yeah.
they're easily conceding, I think, 40, 50 runs every game just
I
because of
mean,
their poor fielding.
आज भी तो they was it was the final players. It was Keshav Maharaj and who was the other guy before Lungi and Giri,
Indeed.
Hmm.
and it was them both, and there was a mix up in the run.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the fielder
Mm.
started strolling. He just waited for the guy behind him to come collect the ball for him. अगर वो रन आउट हो जाता Pakistan would have won this game. But
वो बुमराह जैसा रुक गया.
But to be fair for Bumrah, Dharmashala was
वो बंदा चल रहा है और बॉल कौन हो गया उसको.
yeah. But that's really disappointing, right? Like I always get excited when Pakistan is playing, because they're such an unpredictable team. But I think, man, I'm so disappointed with the squad, leave alone the performances. Um, Captaincy again from Babar has been quite poor in the India match, as well as in some of the other matches as well. But again, that was a boring match. I think in the end, India
Yeah.
Pakistan.
yeah,
A
it was
lot of
just so
people.
one-sided.
Yeah, sorry. Now I was saying a lot of people picked Scott Edwards over Babar Azam. In those ICC videos where you'll see, like, considering Babar Azam has played so many games as a captain, Scott Edwards is just like, what, 5, 6 games old you have seen. It's a big statement.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
and mhm.
today there was also the when Shaheen Afridi was bowling. I think there was a nick that went on to you would have your gully at that point, and I think Shaheen Afridi had spoken to Babar and asked him to keep on that because he was that's the impression that I was given because he was very pissed off after that ball and he was pointing towards that point and saying something. So it leads me to believe I think he asked for a fielder there specifically and Babar never kept one and he kept him at first slip instead.
Yeah. I mean, tactically, I think he's very poor. His bowling changes has been really, really bad. So yeah, again, I think he's on notice period, as somebody rightly noted. So I mean, he's a great batsman. Let him continue as a batter, right? Let somebody else, like who's the previous captain, Sarfaraz
Sarfaraz,
Khan. Somebody like him, should be able to take over.
I'm sure Mohammad Rizwan will take over or Shadab Khan will take over if Babar Azam steps down, which I don't
Yes,
think he will.
yeah. I don't think so. It should because even Rizwan as a keeper, right? He should be able to provide so much insights. But I think his DRS calls are always off. Uh, he is also way too excited all the time. Is just appealing for the wrong calls, and he's not kind of contributing inputs back to Babar, right? Or to the bowlers. So I think I'm not so sure as well. I know politically, I think there is a very different setup in Pakistan, but I don't see Rizwan being that kind of tactical, mastermind. That when we talk about Rohit Sharma or Scott from Netherlands, I don't see that tactical mind even in Rizwan. So even if that happens, I don't think so. It's going to help Pakistan.
They need to get someone, like, they need to go back to their roots, um, their domestic, and get someone from there, like, rather than looking for a leader in their current setup,
Mhm.
which I'm sure they will do. PCB का I think statement भी आया था कल, like, after this World Cup they will take some bold decisions. Let's see what those decisions are. And a lot of people are going to get dropped. A lot of you'll see newcomers coming up for the next 2 years. And yeah, let's see.
Maybe
Like,
then
they
we'll
have
see.
good talent, like, from what I've been looking at, from what I've been hearing in the domestic circuit, but वो आते ही नहीं है. वो बस CPL को ही खेलने जा रहा है. Someone is playing in the Abu Dhabi T10 league or US that league, South African league, but You can't see them in playing in. They have Mohammad Haris as well. उसको एक chance दे दो, इमाम को हटा के एक chance. He's a good opener who can play like 360-degree cricket. At least, if he fails, he fails. But at least give him a chance. No, what Imam is doing, he is scoring 15-20 runs. He's not giving you start. At least
हैरिस को
Haris
बहुत
will give you starts in power play.
वो bowling भी करते हैं ना.
I don't think. Nah, he is a batter. Like he's a good fielder, but yeah, he's a
Yeah.
opening batsman.
हाँ लेकिन उधर तो चाचा भतीजा ही चलता है भाई.
वही चलता है बस उसमें डुबा के रखी है पूरी टीम. Not even
One,
surprised.
I mean, it's disappointing for a country with that, great cricketing culture. Especially they're amazing in the World Cups. They've played some amazing matches. But
You know what that team reminds me of? England. Just a fantastic season they're having so far. What do you reckon their season has been? What are your thoughts on this?
I think they're the worst defending champions ever. Like, I saw a tweet by Michael Wong that he tweeted, "This is by far the worst campaign they ever had, and they had some absolute stinkers in the past." So you can imagine like how, like imagine like कोई भी टीम को तुम उठा लो जो वर्ल्ड कप जीतने के बाद इतनी खराब डिफेंडिंग चैंपियंस लाइक ऑस्ट्रेलिया 3 बार वर्ल्ड कप जीती. In 2011 that came till semi-finals. India 2011 जीती थी, केम टिल सेमीफाइनल से 2015 है. इन लोग भाई जीत के तुम लोग मतलब वन तुम बस एक साल ही तुम्हारा अच्छा था क्या, मतलब उसके बाद खत्म क्रिकेट.
Mhm.
यू नो like when they dropped Jason Roy from the squad, at that moment I thought like इनका तो गया, just because they wanted to accommodate Harry Brook and Bairstow. Harry Brook is a good option, I agree, वो he has been scoring consistently, but Johnny Bairstow यार वो चल गया तो चल गया है. like वो
Not
शॉट
very
अच्छी
good.
मारता है जॉनी बेयरस्टो, बट ही हैज लॉट ऑफ फ्लॉज इन हिज गेम.
Mhm.
उसको थोड़ा सा उसके जोन से बाहर दे दिया तो ही गेट्स आउट. एंड जेसन रॉय ऐसा प्लेयर था कि यार वो कहीं भी बॉल बढ़ बढ़ के मारता है वो.
Mhm.
एंड यू आर ड्रॉपिंग जेसन रॉय फॉर बेयरस्टो एंड ऑल दोस गाइज.
It's a bit disappointing as well. But I think what's not clicking now, that's a great team. On paper, it is still an amazing
On
team.
paper they're the best team in this World Cup. 11 batters, 8 bowlers
What's
in
going
their
wrong
playing
then?
11.
It's a bit hard to say. I think first maybe Joss Butler might be to blame. Not the best captaincy, not the best tactics. Again, Johnny Bairstow as well has not been. He's been horrible. Like, I think he's more muscle, and that's where obviously where Jason Roy would have come better. I
Yeah.
think it may have been a huge mistake going for Johnny Bairstow. So especially for huge targets, you need someone who can play those safe but fast shots, and Bairstow probably is not your option. So
I
just
don't think like Josh Butler is one of the best wide ball openers, right? T20 में he opens around the world. बट भाई वनडे में क्यों वो नंबर 4 नंबर 5 पे आ रहा है. उसने वो लाइक व्हाई डोंट यू ट्राई कमिंग इनटू नो कि टॉप ऑर्डर पे ओपनिंग के लिए अलोंग विद मलान और जो भी है तुम्हारा ओपनर. लाइक
The Surya Kumar effect. Everybody wants somebody
मे
like
बी
that.
मे बी बिकॉज ही इज द कैप्टन, यू नो वो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है दैट आई विल कम डाउन एंड मैं संभालूंगा के. वो बेन स्टोक्स को तुम रिटायरमेंट से लेके आ गए, वो बोला ये सब दिखाने के लिए बुलाया था क्या? बेइज्जती कराने के लिए.
Yeah. Like one of the best thing you can do as a captain is, go up front and fight, in the front lines, right? Come in, set up the stage like how Rohit Sharma is doing.
Yeah.
Or, and then, let everybody else, show the way, right? Especially after the first couple of matches, they could have done some bold decisions. So it's a bit disappointing. What's happening with the bowling? I mean, that's not a bad bowling,
I think
lineup.
they are the worst bowling lineup.
Yeah.
Like considering if you see they have a good batting lineup from 1 to 8 or 1 to 9 whatever, but उनकी bowling आप देखो कौन है? डेविड विली 120-130 किलोमीटर पे बॉल डालता है वो. देन यू हैव रीच टॉप, ही वाज अ गुड बॉलर बट ही इज लाइक इंजरी प्रोन. वो 2 ओवर के बाद पता नहीं वो बंदा कहाँ चले जाता है. अभी इज आउट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड कप नाउ. दे हैव जोफ्रा आर्चर हु हैजंट प्लेड अ सिंगल गेम, जो लाइक हु माइट प्ले अगेंस्ट इंडिया.
Mm.
देयर आर रूमर्स. दे हैव एटकिंसन जो एक ही मैच खेले, वो भी लास्ट मैच. एंड हु आर देयर फास्ट बॉलर्स आई डोंट नो. मार्क वुड, उसको हर ओवर में मार पड़ती है हारिस रॉफ की तरह,
Mhm.
क्योंकि जितना तुम पास तेज डालोगे उतनी तुम तेज जाओगे भी. एंड स्पिनर्स में ओनली आदिल रशीद नो लाइक दे हैव, और आदिल और कौन है उनका?
Mondo,
लिविंगस्टन है, उसको खुद नहीं पता वो क्या डालता है, लेग स्पिन ऑफ स्पिन.
I
Bichara
was
shit.
actually trying to, sorry,
Go on,
Rahul.
you saying?
No, I was trying to kind of look for them in the table. नहीं मिल रहे. नीचे.
निकाल दिया उनको, नीचे से भेज दिया। वो बेचारे वो 10th होते होते नेदरलैंड्स 309 रन से हार गया ऑस्ट्रेलिया से, इसलिए वो थोड़ा बेचारे नीचे आ गए, नहीं तो इंग्लैंड ही 10th था।
And the game before that, England avoided that last spot by 2 runs. 2 run come karte to they would have been 10th in that game. It's horrible for them.
I think England, the whole of England has stopped watching cricket.
इट्स जस्ट ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस, लाइक देवर लाइक उन लोग उड़ रहे थे कि भाई हमारी टीम है, हम बेसबॉल खेलते हैं, हम टेस्ट में 50 ओवर खेलते हैं, 50 में T20 खेल के दिखाएंगे। इट्स ऑल लाइक सब उड़ गया भाई, दिमाग भी यूज करना पड़ता है। हर बॉल पे थोड़ी आगे आके उड़ाते रहोगे। वो श्रीलंका ने लाइक दे हैव बीटन इंग्लैंड इन द पास्ट 5 वर्ल्ड कप्स।
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
क्या
but
चल रहा है,
then
23, 19, 15, 11, 7 हर वर्ल्ड कप में हरा रहे हैं उनको पिछले 5 टाइम से।
Mhm. But I mean, let's look at the bowling lineup, right? So Chris Wokes and David Willey with the new ball, uh, Adil Rashid and Moeen Ali as spin option, and Mark Wood and Liam
I think
Livingston.
also Sam Curran, they have like who comes in here and there.
Yeah, so that's not a bad bowling lineup. I mean, at the beginning of the tournament, you would have said, "Hey, you know
Yeah,
what? That can get the job done."
बट उनको ड्यूक्स बॉल ही तो आती है डालनी।
हाँ वो भी है।
ड्यूक्स बॉल हटा
बादल
दोगे तो
भी नहीं
कहाँ
है।
खेलते हैं वो लोग।
हाँ बादल भी नहीं है
देन
ना।
दे वेंट टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया, उनको मार पड़ी, यहाँ पे आके उनको मार पड़ रही है। इंग्लैंड में ड्यूक्स बॉल दोगे तो खेलते हैं वो लोग, परफॉर्म करते हैं अपना।
Yeah, I remember in our club, Billy Baxter was just screaming at Stuart Broad and your man
एंडरसन।
Anderson, saying that they've been playing under the cloud and with those balls for too long, and they think they're world champions. All they can do is ball under the clouds. That's not cricket, right? And I think that's what I think. Like no, I mean, having said that, they've changed the game. They've tried different form of cricket as well. But I also can't really complain too much personally because if you look at it, right, you have Bairstow and David Malan. Whatever said, pretty decent. Joe Root, one of the top batsmen at number 3,
या
perfectly suited for 50-over cricket. Ben Stokes at number 4. I know he was injured for a
नो
couple
आई
of
थिंक
months.
हैरी, ओह या बेन स्टोक्स करेक्ट, या हैरी
Yeah,
ब्रूक एट 5 आई थिंक।
yeah. So they have Joss Butler, Moeen Ali, Chris Woakes.
लिविंगस्टन।
I mean, come on, man. Like that's a pretty good 50-over side. Rahul, what do you think? Like, what's happening? I'm sure captaincy is one thing, Mahajan. That's missing. Probably could be done better. But batting and
There's
bowling
also, I
on
think,
paper is very good.
on paper, I don't think the bowling looks. It's the bowling is काम कर लेगा, but there's no bowling like ये wicket लेगा. I don't
Mhm.
think they have that. That's probably where it's going wrong. And against who was it? South Africa, where South Africa had given them such a huge target, England had to go for it from ball one. It was over there itself. Like it's a two-part game. If your bowling cannot set yourself a decent total, there's no chance your batting can win you, unless there's obviously a miracle or there is that infamous match with every once in a while. But
Mhm.
other than that, I think the bowling is probably their weak point. There's the bowling is good, not great. So, and I don't know what's happened. Like England can obviously produce much better bowlers than what they have. I just don't know what's happening. Like how they haven't found anyone like Jofra Archer since his, injury issues have started. I have no idea.
Do you think 100 has an impact on it? I mean, first of all, T20 is a short format game, right? 100 is a much more shorter format game. I'm just like putting it out there. Do you think that's impacting their 50-over game?
I don't know their own play, like if their own players are even playing hundreds, like बहुत कम players like Chris Jordan and all those players, they are playing hundreds, but I don't really think like it is impacting their 50. Like in general, see, like to be honest, all the teams are be playing T20 cricket more than what they're playing tests or ODIs especially. तो like वो लोग complain कर रहे हैं कि like because of T20 we are not able to adapt to 50 overs. 50 overs require skill. We are not able to adapt it because we are playing shorter formats lately. But विराट कोहली भी खेल रहा है shorter formats. इंडिया भी खेल रही है. But how come that guy he knows how to play? He bats the condition. उसको कल टेस्ट खिला लो, परसों ओडीआई खिला लो, उसके बाद T20 खिला लो. He adapts his game, no, based on the format. So if you are a good player, if you're a good cricketer, then you need to adapt.
Mhm.
ऐसा थोड़ी बोल के तुम बोल सकते हो कि भाई ओडीआई फॉर्मेट इज डाइंग दैट्स व्हाई वी आर नॉट प्लेइंग, ऐसा नहीं चलता. इट्स अ फॉर्मेट, लाइक यू हैव टू अडेप्ट. अभी अभी आज आज एडन मार्करम ही स्कोर 91, ही गॉट आउट एंड वो 9 विकेट्स गिर गए उनके. जस्ट इमेजिन विराट कोहली ने जो अब 2-3 चेज किए अच्छे, इफ विराट वुड हैव गॉटन आउट फॉर से 20 or 30 रन, हमारा भी हालत वही होता था इंडिया का. हम भी नीचे ही जाते थे, 8-9 विकेट पे जीतते थे. बट इट्स लाइक इट्स अ स्किल, लाइक यू हैव टू अडेप्ट.
Mhm. I still remember that famous match where England was complaining about the pitches, and then
दे आर
Ashwin
स्टिल
took that call.
कंप्लेनिंग दिस एंड दैट कि हमें ये नहीं वो नहीं मिल रहा, पिच ऐसी है, ओडीआई फॉर्मेट इज डाइंग.
Mhm.
There's
Raj
also
खत्म हो गया.
well, I have noticed that in this World Cup, there's a lot and lots of players playing with that T20 mentality. Like not only aggressive, जैसे रोहित शर्मा aggressive है, that's fine. That's just his play style. There's also players like, why are you reverse sweeping? Reverse sweeping का फायदा क्या है अगर like स्पिनर पे रिवर्स स्वीप कर रहे हो, पीछे फील्डर लगा हुआ है, दोनों तरफ फील्डर्स हैं, व्हाट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ अ रिवर्स स्वीप देयर? तुम बस स्टाइल पॉइंट्स के लिए जा रहे हो. देयर वाज अ गेम फॉर नेदरलैंड्स एंड they were prime, like they were doing well. I forgot who it was it Netherlands, Sri Lanka? I don't
साउथ
remember.
अफ्रीका,
South Africa.
वेंडर डस्ट प्लेड रिवर्स.
Yeah, and there was two players that, no sorry, one player that got out a reverse sweep. They were doing all right. थोड़ा सा फिर कोलैप्स शुरू हुआ. द कोलैप्स हैपेंड क्योंकि पहले प्लेयर ने रिवर्स स्वीप किया, उस पे आउट हो गया. सेकंड प्लेयर आया, उसने भी रिवर्स स्वीप कर दिया, वो भी आउट हो गया. तो अगर दो लोग उस शॉट पे आउट हो रहे हैं, यू थिंक कि अगला प्लेयर सोचेगा चलो थोड़ा छोड़ देते हैं वो शॉट, दूसरी शॉट खेल लेते हैं ना. उसको भी रिवर्स स्वीप खेलना है, वो भी रिवर्स स्वीप पे आउट, एंड दैट वाज द कोलैप्स ऑफ नेदरलैंड्स. सो आई थिंक आई हैव सीन दिस, अ लॉट ऑफ द न्यू जनरेशन प्लेयर्स आर जस्ट नॉट एबल टू स्विच देयर मेंटालिटीज. सोचा है कि T20 में ये सब शॉट्स मार रहे हैं तो फिर चलो ये ओडीआई में भी चल जाएगा. लाइक दैट्स जस्ट नॉट हाउ इट वर्क्स.
Yeah, that's interesting point that you make, Rahul. I think where things are different in Test match and T20, right? So in T20, when you're under pressure, you go to this, really attacking or creative shots, right? If you're playing a lot of Test matches and there's a good spin bowling in front of you, you actually go to the pitch of the ball, right? You go in, you try and pitch the ball. And that's where I think in the teams that are doing really well, if you look at New Zealand, right, the way they played Kuldeep, that was beautiful passage of play, right? They were just coming onto the pitch, and it actually looked like a safer option, right? Um, I was looking at Pakistan, and some of them were trying to play some reverse shot in some when they were under pressure. So I think a lot of modern cricketers and the teams that are not doing well are looking under pressure, looking for those T20 options, and the teams that are doing really well are looking at traditional option of attacking or getting to the pitch when they're under the pressure or under the pump. I think that is a difference that you can see. I really love the way Daryl Mitchell actually played Kuldeep, right? And even when I think Pakistan did well in a couple of matches, they were actually coming, onto the pitch. I think Saul Shakil in the last couple of matches, they were kind of, coming in front and trying to play it, and especially if you have good off spinners, that's the best way to play. And I think that's where I think there is a difference. Or let's say something creeping into the game when you are under pressure. Some batters are going to those creative shots versus the players who are doing really well are taking the traditional option.
What do you think,
Yeah,
Arote?
I mean I agree to that point. Like like अभी तो वैसा हो गया कि they have to make a statement that reverse sweep and all, it's all a statement shot, to put the bowler under pressure, to for him to think something else. But it sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. If it works out, you get 4 runs. If it doesn't, you go to the pavilion. Like, so it's a very risky shot, very risky way to go about your game. Like for example, if you're someone like Surya Kumar or AB de Villiers or Maxwell and it comes naturally to you, I don't have any problems because you have to back your natural game. But someone like, who, like other players like Rahul mentioned, who got out on reverse sweep, if you see the situation, if you see the scoreboard, imagine if India were 2 for 3 and Rohit, अपना विराट कोहली आके reverse sweep मारता. He didn't. उसने एक भी शॉट नहीं मारा ऐसा फालतू का, सब सीधे स्ट्रेट बैट से खेला. सो यू हैव टू अडेप्ट टू द सिचुएशन. इररिस्पेक्टिव T20 में भी कभी कभी हालत खराब हो जाती है. if you are see 10 for 5 in T20 in your in next 3 overs, थोड़ी ना तब भी आप रिवर्स पे मारोगे. You'll stay there, no? You'll try to build a partnership. I mean it's all cricket. आप कुछ भी खेलो, it's mentality basics तो सेम ही होते हैं. But it's all just, I think it's all more about, giving out a statement like modern cricket.
Yeah.
Modern cricket kya hai? Modern
Yes.
cricket just have some score on the board, take wickets. Cricket to
Yeah.
cricket hai.
Mm.
Yeah, just one
Yes.
final thing, like now I know we're getting close to time. So, in regards to Kohli, can I just say it is? I have been observing him closely this World Cup, and my God, I don't think I've reached an appreciation for him that I don't think I ever had for him. Uh, for his game against Australia, he had only one bad shot, a singular bad shot, and that was the catch that they dropped, and that was a pull shot. So he clearly found out pull shot was his weakness. If you saw the matches throughout, you will see that the bowlers from the other teams realized pull shot was his weakness. He also made another bad shot, but that fell safely. After that, he has always played a pull shot down on the ground. Since then, he's been able to play every single bouncer on his head down. And the mentality to have when you realize in the middle of a World Cup that you have this weakness, going out, practicing like that shot in the middle of a World Cup is just why I think Kohli definitely is the greatest in the world.
एग्री मतलब रोहित शर्मा को डालना है तो उसको डालो पुल वो देगा बजा के विराट इज अ क्लास अपार्ट आई मीन ही नोज हिज गेम ही नोज हिज स्ट्रेंथ हिज वीकनेस वेरी वेल उसको नीचे खेलना है वो नीचे खेलेगा वो फील्डर नहीं है देन ही विल गो फॉर इट और ही विल टेक अ शॉर्ट आर्म जैब व्हाटएवर हाउएवर ही विल प्ले बट या आई एग्री like he's just class apart like it's such a joy to watch him. I hope he gets to his 50 hundreds this World Cup. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Maybe
अगर
on his
कोई
birthday on 5th November. So
हम्म,
if he might score two in his next three games.
अगर कोई बंदा अंडर प्रेशर हैरिस रॉफ को शॉर्ट बॉल को उधर चक्का मार सकता है कुछ भी कर सकता है भाई.
That's true.
हैरिस रॉफ का कॉन्फिडेंस टूट गया था वो शॉट के बाद अभी तक उसको नहीं आ पाया वो कॉन्फिडेंस ही इज अ ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट बॉलर नाउ
He's
like
a
he's
destroyed man.
yeah he's a destroyed
He's a
man I
broken
believe.
man.
जैसे शाहीन अफरीदी को रोहित शर्मा ने तोड़ दिया तो उसके बाद से वो अलग ही हो गया है इन दैट एशिया कप एंड नाउ लाइक शुभमन गिल और रोहित शर्मा दोनों ने
Mhm.
व्हाट
Okay,
अ
I have
फैक्ट.
one question, right? One quick scenario before we wrap up. India is chasing 350, right? And India lose 3 wickets early. Shubman, Rohit, and Shreyas. Do you still back India to chase with the current kind of squad setting?
या आई डू लाइक जब तक विराट है ना मेरे को कोई भी टारगेट दे दो आई आई विल बैक इंडिया जब तक विराट है विराट आउट हो गया तो फिर थोड़ा 50-50 but as long as Virat is there even if we need like 50 runs in 2 overs I'll back India. वो बंदा
Uh,
मैच लेके आता है कुछ भी इसका कैलकुलेशन इतना सही है
mhm.
he'll get us close he'll get us near.
Okay, a question for Mahajan then. अगर रोहित गिल और कोहली आउट हो जाते हैं and you have Shreyas and KL on the crease, would you still have the same confidence that Rahul has?
Chasing 350 and they are what say 50 for 3.
No, 10 for 3.
10 for 3. 10 for 3 no chance. No. Maybe okay chalo if it's like 80 or 100 for 3 the reason why I would say yes I have 70% confidence is because I believe KL, Shreyas, Jadeja, Pandya, if he plays, who knows if he does, or even Ashwin. Bumrah can, like, if these, not Bumrah, leaving Bumrah aside, if these four players can bring out maybe, even if they bring 200 runs, the remaining 50 runs, I do trust our last three players to at least get those 50 runs. So I would have maybe 60% confidence, but if it's 10 for 3, honestly, I just don't think there's any chance. Well, what about you? If he's flipped the question to you, for both the questions, what would your answer be?
Uh, I think for me, 350 plus, I think I will still be confident. My challenge is, let's say if a team takes on Kuldeep and ends up with 380, I think we are way too well balanced that will be a better shot for chasing targets like that. It's different if Gill or Rohit Sharma gets going. If they don't get going and we have a 380 target, even with Kohli, I have a question mark. And I'm a big Kohli fan, but I still have question mark for a 380 plus target. 350, I think, even if we lose the top three, I think we should be able to chase it down. I think there is so much quality in Shreyas. Like Shreyas in any other side would be like a Kane Williamson, for them, right? It's
Kane
just
Williams.
unfortunately
Are you
back
sure?
in India. No, no. I mean, when I say Kane Williamson, like
I
their
mean, if
top
you
batter.
exclude those short balls,
Yeah, yeah. But let's say he'll be the top batter in any side he goes. So if he, let's say, goes to Pakistan, he's gonna be on par with Babar Azam, right? Or at least he'll be the top two batter in the side. So it's just unfortunate to be born in India, or maybe fortunate.
I would say that's a bit optimistic for Shreyas, but uh, I don't know. I wouldn't
Yeah.
put him top two if he went to Pakistan, but like I will agree that if he went to any country, he would be a starter for their teams. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so I think India will chase 350, 380 without Gill and Rohit Sharma giving us an explosive start. I think it's difficult.
that's fair. All right, shall we wrap it up over there?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, thank you so much everyone for listening, and see you all in the next episode. Goodbye.